Welcome back, 1st through 5th graders. So, today we're going to learn about gifts of the Spirit. If you have not watched the first lesson about the Holy Spirit, I encourage you to go back and do that first because it's going to make a lot more sense if you watched that. You are supposed to be doing your memory verse. Hopefully you're still doing that. And also you're supposed to take the guiding questions to figure out what your gift is. If you haven't done that, that's okay. You still have time after this lesson. So you can see here I have depicted all of the gifts listed in the Bible. I'm going to put this up on the screen and I want you to look at them for a second, and I want you to think if you could pick one gift that you would like to have, not necessarily the one that you have or the one that you think is the coolest, which one would you vote for? All right, well, I think if I got to vote, I probably would pick miracles. I think it would be really cool, like Jesus, to go and just miraculously heal people, make a blind man see, make a person who couldn't walk. I just think that one would be the coolest. All right, so hold on to that thought about which one you voted for. And we're now going to turn into our Bibles. I'm going to be reading from the NIV, but you can read along with me. And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to read in the Bible when it talks about the gifts. And each time I mention a gift, I'm going to put a Skittle in one of the containers behind the same gift that it lists. So hopefully I can do this. I have to multitask. Okay. All right, so we're going to turn into 1 Corinthians 12, 8 through 10. Okay. And it says, "To one there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom, to another a message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another gifts of healing by that same Spirit, to another miraculous powers, to another prophecy, to another distinguishing between spirits, to another speaking in different kinds of tongues, and to still another the interpretation of tongues." Whew, okay. Next, let's keep going. We are going to read from 1 Corinthians 12, 29 through 31, where it also lists gifts of the Spirit. It says, "Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Do all work miracles? Do all have gifts of healing? Do all speak in tongues? Do all interpret? Now eagerly desire the greater gifts." All right, one last passage. We are going to turn to Romans 12, 6 through 8. It says, "We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then encourage. If it is giving, give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy," which right here I have it labeled as kindness, "do it cheerfully." Oh, phew. All right. Well, I'm going to put this aside. Let's go back to the voting. All right. A lot of us think that different gifts would be really cool. It even says in the Bible that when Paul was speaking to the church in Corinth, because they were all wanting the gift of tongues, and so all of them were speaking in tongues, and Paul came and said, "Guys, listen, you were each given a different gift, and we need to use each one." All right, so I want to think about this another way. I used Skittles to depict each gift as we were saying them. I want to think about it a different way. I'm going to take all of those colors of Skittles that I just used, and let's imagine them each as a different gift. So let's look and see what happens when all of our gifts are used from different people in the way that God intended. All right, that experiment was pretty cool, right? Look what happens when we use all of our gifts. It creates a beautiful picture where all of our gifts work together to create something bigger than just ourselves. We're also working together in that way for God's kingdom. All right, let's get real for a minute, because honestly, this is something that adults really struggle with too. There are times that we look at other people's gifts and wish we had what they had. For example, I might look up on stage, to be honest, I have done this, and I look up at Josue and I think, man, I really wish I could play keys like that. But here's the thing. If we're too busy focusing on what other people have and wishing that we have, we are going to miss out on what God has for us. Believe me, this is a lifelong lesson. There is a reason that we talked about not coveting in the past series, okay? God knows the plan that He has for you, and those gifts were intended just for you. They're the perfect ones for you. All right, let's imagine if we did what the Church of Corinth did, and we all used the same gift at the same time. Remember what we talked about earlier is that they were all using the gifts of tongue. All right, think about back to that experiment. What if we had all used blue Skittles? We all used the same gift. It's not as cool, right? We wouldn't be working together like God intended. So I'm very thankful that God has made each of you the way that He has. And also you can choose to be thankful in that too. All right, so you might be thinking, cool, Miss Lindsay, I know my gift now, but what am I supposed to do with it? I'm just sitting at home. Like, what good is this gift if I'm just at home all of the time? I'm going to use my gift of encouragement. Did you guys know that's one of my gifts? I'm going to encourage you today. You can still use your gift even now. Next week, we are going to be talking about the purpose of your gift and some practical ways that you can use your gift even now. So here are your challenges this week. Keep memorizing your verse. Okay, I'm going to be watching out for the videos. When you have your memory verse, send it to me because I still have those cards that I'm ready to send in the mail. Also, if you haven't taken the guiding questions for your spiritual gift, tell your parents to check their email because it's on there. The second challenge is I want you, after you've taken that guiding questions and figured out what your spiritual gift is, I want you to pick your top 1, 2, or 3 gifts and research them this week. What are they exactly? What are the traits of that gift? And where can you find them in the Bible being used? Because what we're going to do this week is we're going to set up a Zoom meeting with one of your teachers. I know they've really been missing you, and I'm guessing you guys are missing each other too. I'll be seeing you guys soon. All right.